Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. You guys are currently looking at every classic physique bodybuilder qualified for this year's Olympia. In today's video, I will be giving you guys my top 5 predictions for classic physique as well as the 212 division going into this weekend's Olympia. And before I get into the top 5, there are 2 guys I want to mention in classic physique that I don't have in my top 5, but they could very well get in there. Mike Sommerfeld and Wesley Vissers. I'm pretty sure you guys would agree it wouldn't be a surprise if either one of these guys finished within that top 5. But for the sake of these predictions, I'm going to place them right outside of that top 5. So in 5th place, I have the Black Swan Breon Ainsley. Breon placed 4th last year, and I'm expecting him to come in improved this year. But he does have his work cut out for him. He has to beat guys like Wesley Vissers, Mike Sommerfeld, and I know Breon has beat them before, but those guys are making significant improvements. Now, why do I have Breon in 5th and not a little bit higher? To me, I believe Breon's physique is starting to look a little bit tired. The guys I have placing ahead of him, honestly, their physiques just look a lot more fresh, if you guys can understand what I mean by that statement. But it's possible that Breon places a little bit higher. It's honestly possible that he places a little bit lower. The guys in the classic physique are constantly improving, but I like the Black Swan in 5th place this year. I think he keeps his top 5. Now in 4th place, this may be a shock to some of you guys, but I actually have Urs Kalasinski. Urs has a great physique, great poser, would be a great ambassador as well, but I still think he needs more work from the back, also needs more work on the arms. I have seen Urs Kalasinski make improvements over this prep, but I don't think much of that went to the back of the arms. And Urs Kalasinski always brings a crazy level of conditioning to the stage, and that's his calling card. But Ramon Dino, Chris Bumstead, Terrence Ruffin, and Breon Ainsley all bring incredible conditioning. So I'm going to place Urs in 4th place. I still think he needs a little bit more work to the back and the arms. Now in 3rd place, I like Terrence Ruffin, Rough Diesel. Terrence slipped down to 6th place at last year's Olympia because he came in a little bit off, but Terrence won 2 pro shows this year, worked on his peaking process a little bit, and his coach said we're going to see the biggest and the leanest Terrence Ruffin we've ever seen. I believe Terrence is going to fall just short of that 2nd place spot because there are guys that are bigger than him structurally and weight-wise, but I do think Terrence Ruffin moves back up into at least that top 3. And in 2nd place, I have Ramon Dino. Over the past year or so, Ramon has really solidified himself in the classic physique division, placing 2nd to Chris Bumstead, getting a 2-man call out at last year's Olympia, also by winning the 2023 Arnold Classic. I see a few people really underestimating Ramon going into this year's show, and it's probably because we haven't seen many updates. We will be discussing some Ramon Dino updates very, very soon, however. And I have Ramon placing over Urs Kalasinski because I think he has better arms, better back, and I think that will go a long way. And overall, I think Ramon is just a little bit too big for Terrence Ruffin. Now, winning this year's Olympia, of course, Chris Bumstead will be capturing his 5th title this year. Even if Chris Bumstead were to show up like last year, I still think he would capture the title. This guy is the standard for classic physique, and whoever places 2nd, I still believe there's a big gap between Chris Bumstead and 2nd place. And of course, there's nothing against the competition, but that just says how good Chris is. It's almost like he was made for this division. But as I mentioned before, Chris has hinted at retirement numerous times, so who knows, this could potentially be his last Mr. Olympia. And I only mention that again because at the athletes check-in, Dan Solomon literally said he's not sure how much longer Chris is going to be competing. And I thought that was very interesting to say at a check-in, and also it was on Olympia TV Live. But I believe Chris Bumstead captures another Olympia title this year. And let's go ahead and switch over to 212. You guys are currently looking at every 212 bodybuilder that is qualified for this year's Olympia. And of course, Kamal El-Gardner will not be at this year's show. And again, I want to let you guys know, my predictions are 100% what I think is going to happen, not based off what this channel said or what this person said. So let's go ahead and get into the predictions, starting with my 5th place, and that is going to be Ole Krivy. Ole brings great density, crazy conditioning, but the guys that I have placing ahead of him are either a little bit more dense or overall just have a better shape. But I'm predicting Ole Crivy to maintain his top 5 spot, but I think it's possible that he places a little bit higher. I think it's possible that he can place a little bit lower. Now let's go into my 4th place prediction, and I think this is somewhat of a bold one. Angel Calderon was 2nd place at last year's 212 Olympia. And even though I'm placing Angel in 4th, I think it's going to be a dogfight between him and my 3rd place prediction for that 3rd place spot. Now, why do I have Angel Calderon slipping down? Angel looks huge in comparison to the other guys, very dense, very conditioned. This guy looks hard as nails on stage. But the guys I have placing ahead of him bring great conditioning and better shape. Now, 3rd place, I like Kareth Bajo. And I think it's possible that him and Angel Calderon really battle it out for that 3rd place spot. I like Kareth a little bit more because he has better shape. Take a look at the shoulders, the roundness, the conditioning throughout the quads. And to beat a guy like Ole Crivy, Angel Calderon, you definitely have to have that muscle maturity. And Kareth Bajo is known for having that old man muscle. I like Kareth in 3rd place this year. I think he's a little bit underrated. And in 2nd place, I'm going to predict the prodigy, Keon Pearson, to finally get into their top 2. And as I just said with Kareth, you have to have that muscle maturity to beat guys like Crivy, beat guys like Calderon. I believe Keon pretty much checks every box except for that muscle maturity. If Keon brings the conditioning, he has the conditioning, the structure, the shape, and Keon Pearson also looks 10 to 20 pounds bigger than these guys. And as I always mention, I believe Keon Pearson is going to outpose the entire lineup. Keon's presentation is just on another level. And winning the 2023 212 Olympia, I think is going to be Sean Clarita once again. Clarita, basically the mini Ronnie Coleman, as everyone says. He has everything, and everyone is lucky that he isn't a little bit taller. Branch Warren, once again, has already seen Sean Clarita, and he said that's a wrap. Chris Aceto, coach of Ramon Dino, he said that Sean Clarita is the lock of the weekend. A lot of things can change, but Sean Clarita will be keeping his title. Branch Warren, Chris Aceto, I really value their opinions, but I think Sean will win another Olympia title. He's 40 years old. Sean just had a kid last year, and he's still managing to improve. But let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think of my predictions? And drop your predictions in the comments as well. I'm Krishan from GOAT Fitness. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. I should be back very, very soon with a news video. That's it. I'm out.